Magic's weird when it names shit, alright? It's pretty hit or miss. Like Mistform Wall? No? No. More like Gimp Wall. Speaking of Gimp, one of my favorite social segues. Look at my little... Yeah, it's a dice bag, but I thought it looked like a little Gimp mask on my mic, and I thought that was funny. So, I'm going to be looking over here a lot, because this brain doesn't remember stuff very well, alright? Sorry about ya. Oh, third thing. What are these? These are Daddy's Feel Goods. I'm just kidding. These are pills for acid reflux, so that's not as cool. I remember being young. I'm not going to say the exact age, because I'll probably be way off, but it's when Conflux came out. I was looking for Path to Exile. Because it was like $5 or $10, uncommon. I was like, I can pull one of those out of a pack, and if I do, I can get another pack. Easy. Stonks. I think that was probably the set that I realized that, like, spoiler galleries were a thing, and you could just, like, look at sets. So I got on there and was like, hey, there's a card named Conflux. In Conflux. This thing must be sick. It's okay. It's pretty cool. But then I was laying in bed the other day and thought about that moment of me being like, that's cool, there's a namesake card. And then I thought about it and I was like, they just made the Weatherlight in one of the sets. That's a name of a set. Wait a second. How many of these, my cord only reaches so far, are there? It turns out there's quite a bit. There's actually 22 cards. There's a lot more of these than I thought. So I just thought we'd go over them, kind of talk about the namesake cards. The thing that I found the most interesting, which is kind of going to be one of the main talking points, is that a lot of these cards that are named after sets didn't come out in the set that they're named after. Really weird. And some of them are released in sets that were so close to their namesake set that you're like, why? And then some of them are like one word off. It's just very interesting. So if you just kind of want a long form video of a guy talking about magic shit, subscribe first off, because that's kind of what I do. And yeah, I don't know. Let's just get into it with the first one. All Will Be One. This was the whole me turning thing I was talking about. All Will Be One was released in 2023's Phyrexia, All Will Be One, and it was named after Phyrexia All Will Be One. The first one's a home runner. You know what I mean? Came out in the same set it was named after. Also a very good card. If you don't know what this thing does, it's 3 and 2 red for an enchantment. Whenever one or more counters are put on a permanent you control, yeah, you can go ahead and shoot something for that much. Sorry, that's me holding my opponent's balls after they play this on me, because, like, I'm theirs now. Oh, another weird thing. I'll just bring it up right off the bat. So many of these are enchantments. Why are namesake cards enchantments like 80% of the time? I couldn't tell you. Maybe it's something we could talk about. All Will Be One. Great starting point. Fantastic card. Came out in its namesake set. Great way to dip your toe in the old water here. We got 21 more of these, though, so let's go. Up next is Cold Snap. It was released in 1995's Ice Age, and it was named after 2006's Cold Snap. Super weird. This card could have very easily just been named Ice Age. It's really weird that it's just like, nah, we'll name it a set that doesn't exist yet's name. That'll be sick. It's not even good. It's just a 2 and a white enchantment with cumulative upkeep 2, and it pings people for 1 for each snowland they control on their upkeep. Who? The fuck asked? I don't really have a rating system for this video, but it probably gets the worst one. This one's not great. Yeah, missed opportunity. Could have just been named Ice Age. Not a good card. Yeah, next card. Future Sight is next. Released in Don't look at the computer, Nick. You can remember. Released in 2002's Onslaught. Oh, yeah! Named after 2007 set's Future Sight. Future Sight's great. Future Sight's great, he says. Future Sight's good. It's 2 and 3 blue. Get to play with your top. You get to look at your top card whenever you want, and you can play your top card. So you essentially just get like 1 extra card in your hand, but if you can chain stuff off top, it's like a ton of extra cards in your hand. There's probably more that have been printed that are more efficient than Future Sight. Still, very good card. But I'm not a huge fan, because Future Sight could have been so good as the namesake card for the set Future Sight. Because it just works, Future Sight's like it's got some time travel elements. You're seeing into the future with this card. It just works. And it's weird that it just came out in, what was it? I already forgot. Onslaught? So the last card was Future Sight from Onslaught. This time it's Onslaught Not from Future Sight, though. That would be insane if it actually came out in Future Sight. It's from 1998's Exodus, which is my birth year. So, I don't know. It's pretty cool. Again, an enchantment. Why? It's not bad, though. It's a 1 red enchantment. Whenever you successfully cast a creature, you get to tap a creature. So if you're like a haste deck or something like that, sure, it's all right. Onslaught, don't know much about that set. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like this could be released in whatever set. So Onslaught could be a whatever set. Kind of a missed opportunity to drop it in some random bozo set. Next, we got March of the Machines, released in 2003's Mirrodin, named after 2023's March of the Machines. March of the Machines is 3 and a blue for, what the fuck's going on? It's an enchantment. I don't know why. All your non-creature artifacts become creatures with power and toughness equal to their mana cost. Sure. Also, if you're in like a token deck, clue deck, you can combo with this thing. You get a lot of death triggers. It's pretty good. Also, weird that we didn't get a reprint in March of the Machines. That's kind of another thing weighing on some of these opinions of these cards. Very easily could have gotten a reprint in March of the Machines. They went, nah, I'm okay. Planar Chaos. Yeah. I know my cousin's watching. I know you're watching, Derek. Played this on us the other day. Yeah, everybody else seemed to be winning their flips. Not this guy, all right? I was just minding my own business like this owl here. Just. And then you had to play that card. Got me fucking. You know what you've done. I almost went to the next card. I almost just like said, fuck it, we're going to the next card, not even talking about it. It's fun. It's good because he's in a Chaos deck. He's not in a Stacks deck, so it is more fun. But still. Planar Chaos, released in 2002's Judgment, and is named after, don't remember this one, 2007's Planar Chaos. 2 and a red for an enchantment. Did I miss like a memo? Did I miss like an article that talked about this or something? Because this is weird. It's all enchantments. At the beginning of your upkeep, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, sacrifice Planar Chaos. Whenever your opponent casts a spell, they do the same thing. They flip a coin. If they lose, they counter that spell. Yeah. In a Stacks deck, like I said, rough stuff. Or if you have a way to keep recurring it and recurring it and recurring it, Derek. But outside of that, it's pretty cool. It's pretty chaotic. Apocalypse was released in 1997's Tempest and named after 2002's Apocalypse. There's no way I got that. 2001's Apocalypse. Ridiculous. Apocalypse is 2 and 3 red. Guys, for a sorcery, we did it. We did it. We named a card after something that wasn't an enchantment. I'm so excited. I'm so proud of Wizards. It's 2 and 3 red to discard your hand and remove all permanents from the game. I didn't say it was fun. It's just not an enchantment. It combos, and I'm not going to tell you the combo, because I don't need that combo floating around more, all right? Next. Morningtide came out in 2002's Tempest and was named after 2008's Morningtide. I guarantee you I got that one right. Oh, yeah, I did. It's not bad either. You know, it's 1 and a white. I think it's an instant. Sorcery. It's slightly worse than I thought. You remove all cards in all graveyards from the game. That was really hard for me to remember for some reason. It's not bad. Like, if you've got one of these chilling in your binder or something, like, and you need a piece of removal, you've been having graveyard decks kind of shit on you, for lack of better terms. It's not bad, you know what I mean? Especially if you're in like a deck that can get back spells and shit. It's like, sure, like you can keep reusing it. It's not bad. Another one that seems so open-ended that they could have easily just reprinted it in Morningtide. I kind of don't know why they're not doing that with like older cards that get a set. Like in the case of this, they made a set called Morningtide 6 years after this was released. Why not just put this in the set and just have a namesake card? If the set has a namesake card already, reprint it in the set. That's my thing. If a card has a name already reprinted in the set, if a card has the namesake of the set already, then reprinted in the set. I don't know what the jingle's going to be. It's going to be something. I don't think that'll... Rise of the Eldrazi was released in 2023's Commander Masters. And it's named after 2012's Rise of the Eldrazi? 2010's Rise of the Eldrazi. This one's just big. This one's big and scary. It came out after the set it's named after, which is a little strange. Maybe we'll get a Planet of the Apes things. Maybe we'll get a Planet of the Apes type vibe. Emrakul is Caesar type beat, and we'll get a return of the Rise of the Planet of the Eldrazi's or something like that, and we'll get a cooler card of this. I don't know. It's 9 and 3 waste for a sorcery that can't be countered. Destroy target permanent. Target player draws 4 cards. You take an extra turn after this one, and then you exile it. It's really good. It's just big, scary spell that wins game, though. There's a lot of those. But it is very Eldrazi as well, which I like. Yeah, I think if this card was already, like, a thing, it probably would have came out in Rise of the Eldrazi, I'm sure. The Brothers' War! This saga was released in the Brothers' War Commander, so I count it as releasing in the set. I think it's a part of the namesake set. Also, came out in 2023. I don't know if I said that or not. It's pretty good. I didn't think this card was that great. And then I saw it ran a couple times, and I was like, it's not that bad. I'm going to have to read this one, though, so please excuse the rude back turn. Please enjoy the bakery. Chapter 1, create 2 tapped Power Stone tokens. Ooh. Chapter 2, choose 2 target players until your next turn. Each creature they control attacks the other chosen player, each combat if able. Ooh. And then Chapter 3, it deals X damage to any target, and X to any other target, where X is the number of artifacts you control. It's pretty good. It gives you power stones. It shoots someone for a ton of damage. I think it steals someone's thing. I think in this word soup, it stole someone's thing at some point. No, there's absolutely no theft in this card at all. My brain's not working. It's forced combat. That's what it is. It's doing red stuff. You know what I mean? If you're in the right deck, I think this is pretty good. I actually might be putting this in Rashmi and Ragavan just because of the sheer artifact output. I have easily like 20 artifacts on the board fairly easily. And then this thing just shooting someone and then another someone for 20 or something. This actually is a pretty good win con index like that. I like it. Came out in the same set. This one passes the vibe check. Okay, this one drives me insane. Okay, so next we've got Throne of Eldraine. Guess what set this came out in? Yeah, you got it. It's Wilds of Eldraine. That's what set it dropped in, which came out in 2023. And Throne of Eldraine came out in 2019. It's so strange. 4 years later, after the namesake set, in a set that's very similarly named, they're like, now's the time. Throne of Eldraine. Welcome to the world. Weird. I don't know. It's a good card, though. It's a very fucking good card. I'll tell you that much. 5 for a legendary artifact. When it enters, choose a color. Add 4 mana of the chosen color by tapping it. You can use this mana only to spend monocolored spells of that color. Or you can just pay 3 and tap it to draw 2 cards, but you can only tap mana of the chosen color. So if you're in a monocolored deck, this is pretty nuts. You just get a ton of value. You get tons of card draw. You get card draw, mana ramp. What else do you need? Like, mono white is like creaming in their pants over this. This is such a good card for them. Time Spiral came out in 1998's Urza's Saga, and it's named after, can't remember, and it's named after 2006's Time Spiral. And I feel like it could have just been reprinted in Time Spiral. It seems kind of timey-wimey. So I don't know. It's just a free wheel, essentially. It's 4 and 2 blue. Everyone wheels. You have to exile this card. And then you untap 6 lands. So it's just a free wheel, which is really good. You can kind of just like all out, keep 6 mana open, end it with this, get a whole new hand, untap 6 lands. Feel like it could have gotten a reprint in Time Spiral if it wasn't a part of the reserved list, which, you know, is probably the issue with a lot of these. Urza's Saga is a powerhouse. It was released in 2019's Modern Horizons, and it's named after 1998's Urza's Saga. You know what? This one passes the vibe check right away, because we all know how strong this card is, and there's not a chance this released back in Urza's Saga, so it kind of passes that testing logic. It's a super good card, though. I think it deserves to be the namesake of that set, even though it's not in that set. Urza's Saga is a land that is also a saga. Chapter 1, it gets the ability to tap for colorless. Chapter 2, you get construct tokens. Chapter 3, you get to tutor up soul rings, essentially. It's a very good card. Way too good to be printed back in that old set. So you pass the vibe check. We'll go to the next one. Visions came out in 1994's Legends and is named after 1998's Visions. I think I got that right. Ooh, close. 1997's Visions. It's one of those cards that would be forgettable even if it did release in its namesake set. 1 white, you get to look at someone's top 5, and then you can decide whether or not that person shuffles their library. It's okay, I guess. Like, even if you're, like, able to use it every turn and, like, reuse it, it's like you're not really fixing draws to be bad. You're just, like, randomly shuffling again. Not a very good card. Would have been forgettable anyway. Next. Hour of Devastation. We have another True to Heart namesake card, all right? Released in 2017's Hour of Devastation, named after 2017's Hour of Devastation. We did it again. The card itself, meh. Not that great. 3 and 2 red to deal 5 to everything. Everything loses indestructible. It's okay if you're having a funny little I love Bolus, my whole deck's Bolus type vibe. This works for sure. Outside of that, it is a good namesake card, though. It's meeting all the requirements. Not that great of a card play-wise, though. Torment was released in 1998's Stronghold, named after, I think, 2001's Torment? Named after 2002's Torment. It's very forgettable. Not that good of a card. Even if it released in its set, you would forget it. It's just like a bulk common. 1 and a black for an enchantment to give the creature -3/-0. I've never seen a quicker next. Let's go to the next one. Weatherlight was released in... Oh, shit. Weatherlight was released in 2018's Dominaria, named after 1997's Weatherlight. Again, this is one of those things where it's like, even if they did have this card back then, it wouldn't have gotten released in that set. Too good. Nowadays, it's okay. It's pretty good. We got 4 colorless for a 4/5 flying vehicle, which already is like, all right. Cruise for 3. Okay, not the best, not the worst. Whenever it deals damage, you look at your top 5. You get to pick a historic spell from them, put it into your hand, put the rest at the bottom. It's okay. It's not even that good of a beater. You get 1 card off top, which like is only if it's firing off. That's if it's not blocked. It's an artifact. It can get destroyed pretty easily. Not the strongest card I've ever seen. Still would not have been able to be released in Weatherlight. So we give it a meh, and we move past it. Conspiracy was released in 1999's Marcadian Mask and was named after, I think, 2004's Conspiracy. This thing's very good. If you run the Yuriko deck, Tyler. 3 and 2 black for an enchantment. Again, we're back on that enchantment shit. It turns everything in your deck into the same creature type. You name a creature type, everything in your hand, deck, exile, battlefield, everything is that creature type. So you can see how that gets ridiculous. Very good card. Not a part of the reserved list, so I feel like it could have gotten a reprint in Conspiracy pretty easily. It kind of works in Conspiracy really well, too, because you got a lot of token makers, a lot of politics. I don't know. I like it. Powerhouse card. Think it could have gotten a reprint, though, so it gets a meh as well. Prophecy was released in 1995's Homelands and was named after 2000's Prophecy, or do I have that flipped? No, I got it right, actually. That's cool. What's not cool is it's super forgettable and it's a common. It's 1 white. You look at the top card of target opponent's library. If it's a land, you gain a life, and then you draw a card on the next end step? On the next upkeep. Even worse. Mirrored and Besieged was released in 2019's Modern Masters and was named after 2011's Mirrored and Besieged. I don't think these siege cards where you got to like pick one of the 2 like sides of a war and then you get like a upkeep trigger. I don't think those were a thing when Mirrored and Besieged came out. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I don't think it really could have came out then, so it's whatever. This is also just one I didn't know existed. It's pretty cool. It's also an enchantment again. Weird. 2 and a blue. It's an enchantment. You choose Mirren or Phyrexian when it comes into play. You pretty much choose which side of the war you're going to be on. Mirren gives you a 1/1 mirror whenever you cast an artifact spell, which is pretty good in artifacts. There's a lot of interaction that can happen there. But Phyrexian lets you draw a card and discard a card on your end step, and if there's 15 or more artifacts in your graveyard, target opponent loses the game. Beginning of your end step, draw a card, then discard a card. Then if there are 15 or more artifact cards in your graveyard, target opponent loses the game. Yeah, I read that right. That's really good. You don't even have to sacrifice it. It just keeps doing that. Vibe checked. And then finally, it felt right to end on Conflux, the card that kind of, really inspired all of this. Released in 2009's Conflux, obviously named after 2009's Conflux. It's a weird one. It's 3 and then Wooburg, all the colors, to search for 1 card of each color out of your deck. 8 mana to get 5 cards is a pretty okay going rate. It's all right. Don't know how often that's going to matter. Don't know how often that's not going to tap out your whole field of mana, so I don't know how many of those cards you search for you're really going to be able to play. Like I said, a little disappointing now that I've revisited this one, just because of how cool I thought it was when I was little. I still think it's cool, though. I still think the art's cool, and I still think it's cool that namesake cards are a thing. But hey, maybe I'm just, like, weird, and this is not interesting to anybody else, and no one's watching. But who knows? If you are watching, comment down below what your favorite set is, and then what your namesake card for that set would be. Just a little fun thing. Just a little fun thing for you. Twirl the toe. Just thought I'd do something fun for you. What am I doing? My dad's going to be like, you couldn't help me take a tree stand out because you were twirling your toe in the middle of your room talking about cardboard. Yes! Let me know if you like this video. I definitely want to make more stuff like this. This is kind of like weird stuff in Magic that I'm interested in. But yeah, who knows? Hope you guys have a good day. Hope you guys have a good week. Hope you guys play some Magic. And, yeah. Much love, guys. Go play that shit.
Perfect. In response, run 100 up. You think I'm mulligan a pub, you ain't one of us. Where's it at? Where's it at? Ain't noticing it. I'm right here, boom big, I'm noticing it. My pedal to the metal like build it. My pedal float shit like I killed it. Real shit, let this little nerd get a word in real quick.